so that's why we use a microphone. It's a quality that counts, right, Mark? Yeah. So welcome to the IPP session. Today, as a starter, I just want to give you like a little introduction of our business. Well, what for some people obviously is quite known, and then a bit about our sustainability strategy, and then for the main course, Mark will jump into the topic of how to integrate lean and green into your sales and operations planning. So first, a bit about IPP. IPP Pooling is a member of the Faber Group. Faber is a family company based in the Netherlands, and actually we provide almost all load carrier solutions, be it open pooling, be it closed pooling. Paki is our open pooling, mainly Europallet service provider. VPool, essentially meat crates for the food industry. PRS, closed pooling, mainly for polymer industry, and Setem is our own procurement office for timber. IPP, biggest entity of the Faber Group, is spread all over Europe. At the time of the slide, 280, but at the moment almost 300 employees. A pallet pool of about 16 million pallets and boxes, with about 120 depots in Europe, and we are accepted by all major European retailers. And last year we did around 63 million pallet trips. Something about our sustainability strategy. So we say we have when it comes to sustainability, an ambition to always get the EcoVadis Sustainability Platinum rating. Our base sustainability program focuses on planet, people and society, which are the obvious suspects, I think, for any sustainable program. And there we say that we want to do so well that we always get the sustainability rating platinum of EcoVadis. But on top, we say, well, where can we make a difference? Where can we carry impact? Which is the purpose of the Faber Group. We look where we can do more. And then when you look into the Sustainable Development Goals of the UN, obvious suspects for a pooler are responsible production and consumption. Think of our load carriers. Climate action related to logistics and partnerships, because we work in supply chains. And of course, we are not working in isolation. You always have to work together with your partners in this industry to get results. We also looked into what are the areas where we can make most impact as a pallet pooler. And then we say there's 7 impact areas. And actually the most important one is actually the supply chain of our customers. Why? Any customer who we can convince to switch from one-way pallet to pool pallet gets a better footprint. So it's what we call also scope 4 in sustainability terms. It helps our customer to become more sustainable, and we also help, to make a better planet. And of course, it brings also better results when you make more customers with pool pallets. And it helps then also in the same SDGs as we work, the climate action, the responsible consumption, and the partnerships for the goals. Of course, we also look into our own supply chain. And then you see that throughout, say, the life cycle of a pallet, you touch the impact areas. It starts already with the inflow of fresh pallets. We always make sure that most of our pallets are wooden pallets, that they comply to the FSC and PFC standards. Then the pallet gets in the pool, and then we want to make sure that the pallets stay in the pool and not are getting lost. So we increasingly focus on making sure to reduce the loss of pallets, also by using digital solutions. And then, of course, when we have the end of life of the pallet, after hopefully a long good life, the pallet eventually returns in a certain form to nature. You can use it, for example, as biomass, or give it another solution. And of course, when the pallet is rotating in the pool, transport is a very important impact area to reduce CO2 emissions. And also at the depots, there are opportunities to reduce. But Mark is going to give more insight about that. So with this introduction, handing over to Mark.
I'll take this one for the moment. Thank you. So today we're going to be talking about integrating lean and green into a sales and operations planning cycle. Most people will know what S&OP is, but seeing as this is a focus on digitalization, I decided to ask our good friend in ChatGPT to say, well, what is S&OP? And the most important factors for ourselves is that it's sales and operations planning, and the primary focus is to provide a framework for decision making. And that's across different areas where we talk about demand, supply, inventory. But the one thing that we're adding into this is now the sustainability angle. It is another factor that we need to consider when we are making our S&OP planning. So that means that for us, S&OP is an international solution. We want to obviously go across the different borders, and that decision making is then across the different functions within our different countries. And this is for the same reason why we joined the Lean and Green International program, and we can approach S&OP on an international level instead. What is quite clear is that IPP pallets don't know borders. We may have individual business units that are responsible for their product and loss, but at the profit and loss, But at the same time, we have our two core products for the pallet pooling area that you can see has its own heat map in within the countries across Europe. But ultimately, it means that there are no borders, and we have to make sure that we are planning in an effective way, taking into consideration where our suppliers are, where our depots are, and where the pallets become available at the end. And then the link towards our sustainability, we obviously touched on the 7 impact areas. But for us, when we look at the full life cycle analysis of pooling, the real, 90% of our footprint comes from the purchase of load carriers and then also from the upstream transportation. So these are our 2 focus areas, and the S&OP process takes that directly into consideration. When and where do we have to buy new pallets, and when can we actually make strategic decisions to bring them across borders? If we can get quicker rotation, pallets back into the network through our suppliers, this means that we can do more business with less pallets, which naturally comes straight away towards the customers, to the retailers, and effectively to the to the person who's purchasing at the end of it. You and me when we're going to the supermarkets. And that's why lean and green for us is an important part of the upstream transportation. It's 43% of what we're doing. And it focuses on the real change in the transport of carriers. And that's the real focus that really kind of turned us on towards lean and green, is because it's not about greenwashing, it's not about compensation, it is about actual change. And what we heard in some of the earlier sessions today is that to make the real change, to convert your suppliers, you've then got to be that person who says, no, actually, I want to go in a different direction. I want to be able to take the opportunity, whether it be of electric vehicles, alternative fuels, setting up the networks within our customers, suppliers, retailers, that we can charge electric vehicles, or that we have the availability of alternative fuels. So how do we realize an actual reduction with S&OP? Our central S&OP process requires 4 steps. I'm not talking anything major, but we obviously have a budgeting period, which is central consolidation. You have your forecast and planning that is now done centrally. And then you have the execution done on a local basis with your transport planning. Within this, you have many areas that you will freeze the periods to reflect on your business. But ultimately for us, the key change is that we now go into a rolling 3-month period when we talk about our purchase of both supply and also of transport, and that we go into a very fixed period for the next 4 weeks to ensure that we have the right providers available at the right time. And this is the key change that we've made this year, and that can drive the sustainability within our network by optimizing our sales and our demand and supply routes. Bit of a long one here, But we basically had a maturity assessment to understand what is going on in our business. We wanted to understand where we could actually make improvements. And the lean and green principles are embedded now into our day-to-day work. It is important for us to realize that to become in an optimized manner, we have to have that integration across all functions within our business. And that's because true sustainability focuses on an end-to-end optimization. We spoke about our own sustainable value chain. We already spoke about that we can optimize the downstream logistics, reducing the footprint directly. We spoke about optimizing our inventory utilization and reduction of load carriers. But the S&OP process influences both. And it is core in our decision making that we understand that one affects the other. So we have to come up with an optimal plan that takes in the full network and the consideration when it comes to emissions and the impact that we have on our environment. So what are our what are our results from this end-to-end optimization? We have a bit of spaghetti here, but this is the first just one day of optimization that is done within our business. And it takes into consideration that we do have these long routes. It does take into consideration that you have these heavy densities, but it's important to understand that every single lane that has been chosen by this algorithm and then given to our local teams is all about bringing that total optimization down while focusing on the sustainability as well as bringing the end-to-end cost to our customers at an optimal level. So, the question that we wanted to ask everyone that's here is, well, how can we as an industry improve the end-to-end optimization? And of course, if you have any questions or if you have any ideas, we're more than welcome to discuss it further. So, for all the people in the room, are there any questions? Yeah, sure.
Thank you for the presentation. I was curious what's your perspective on the development? So do you see the main benefit of growing, actually going to new markets, new countries, because then you're creating better network of the places that you can actually exchange the products, or do you actually focus on staying as you are right now, just getting better analysis of the network that you already have established? Or?
It's both. An S&OP process takes into consideration our growth strategy, which we obviously have. There are, our brothers in the room, we are in direct competition of, but actually we also have the ability to change people's perspectives on a one-way use palette. And that's probably more important for ourselves is to change that reflection. So with the S&OP process, you have to plan for growth and you have to obviously put that in, but then you also have that reflection period. Well, did I achieve exactly what we were going to do? And then what is the impact if we didn't achieve that, or if we achieved more, and how we can implement that. And that's why we have that 1 month fixed and the 3 month rolling forecasting that we do. No problem. Any other questions?
Another comment and a question is
Of course.
okay. I believe this is for online because we hear
Indeed,
each other.
Indeed.
So as I said, it's rather a comment than a question. It's clear that the industry is moving to sustainability more and more, and we see that not only in the West countries, we see it in the East countries as well. And I saw your company results in the country I'm doing the business for let's say the partner in the same industry. Mm-hmm. It's clear that the potential to grow is there as well. The question is how we can accelerate, not us as players, but as industry player. And they say, how do we accelerate the adoption of this sustainable, model of business? Because what we are doing, actually, you are doing, I'm doing the same. It's just moving from the linear economy to circular economy. And at the end, everybody is going to win. Everybody's going to win.
Yes. For the industry that we exist in together, it is obviously driven by the retailers. And it's clear that when it comes to customer demand, they're the ones who are going to shape our business. So the most important thing, and obviously we talk about 100% collaboration in Lean and Green, I think one of the clear messages from today has been collaboration with the retailers. It begins with them, and then naturally that will filter down into our customers, your customers, and together the industry can make that change. But we have to do it again together, working with retail environments who have got that first line demand.
Any other questions? And if not, then thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye.